Hello, welcome back to my channel. My name is Claire and I make weekly Sims 4 speed builds. This video is a tiny house that I only use the tiny living stuff pack for. It is a home that can sleep up to 3 Sims, and I'm mostly going to be using items from the Tiny Living Stuff Pack mixed with a few things from the base game. The Tiny Living Pack doesn't have a few items like a shower or like a kitchen set, although there are items in the game where there are kind of like tinier items, like in the Discovery University pack and in the Snowy Escape pack, they have like an open shower, so I don't really know why they couldn't put that in this build, but those builds or those packs are older than this packs. Maybe just the technology and the coding wasn't there. So we are working on the entry room to this home, and there is a Murphy bed, so that is 2 spots for Sims to sleep. It doubles as a living room. I couldn't really come up with a storyline. I did come up with two, so I couldn't really decide on if the Murphy bed is for guests or if this is the parents' bed and then the child slash maybe teenager sleeps upstairs in the hobby area. So we are just going to be making sure this little area is cozy. There's enough seating for everybody. I wanted to have a little chair in the corner for a conversation area, but I decided to just replace it with a lamp. I wanted to make sure I use a lot of items, or if not the majority of items, from the Tiny Living Stuff Pack. And now we are in the kitchen. So the kitchen has a nice blue tile just to add a nice little pop of color in this small space. I tried to use blue upstairs as well for the pop of color, and now we're just going to be adding some upper cabinets. And like I said, this house is mostly using the tiny living pack, but the kitchen was small and there's not really any appliances or counters that are the tiny living pack. There is a sink, but I wanted to use that in the bathroom to kind of have more of a seamless look because the sink wouldn't have matched up directly to the countertops. So we're just going to be adding a rug and going to be adding a sink that snaps into the countertops and going to be adding a little bit of clutter on the corner counter so the Sims can still prepare food. At least one Sim can prepare food. If you want to have your Sims cook together, I would recommend removing the sink, and then your Sims can both have a countertop to prepare on, and then they can use the bathroom sink as the kitchen sink as well. But I wanted to have a 2 sink home in this tiny house, so we're just going to be working now on the bathroom. And a few times while I was working on the space, I was like, I feel like I made the space too big. But it's probably better to have a bigger bathroom space than to not use a tile in the floor plan. So it's nice and spacious, although only one sim can use it at a time, or else they're going to get embarrassed when they walk in to the bathroom and the sim is already taking a shower. And so we're just going to be adding some rugs. I tried to keep it consistent throughout the space, and so they are the same rugs that are in the kitchen. And so since it is a small house and that they're right next to each other, I wanted to have that be consistent. And I do come back later to add the little bathroom shelf that came with the tiny living pack. So there's another item I used, and I don't know why, I just thought it'd be fun to add a gallery wall into the bathroom. There's not really much space on the other areas of the home, and so I was kind of thinking maybe the Sim is an artist or a art collector. I do make another gallery wall up here on the second level. But first, before we get to the gallery wall, we're going to be working on the second bedroom area. So this is the area I thought would be for a teen or for the sim, and then the guest bedroom would be the Murphy bed. So we're just going to be kind of going with a nice blue color tone in here, and it is nice using the pack, like the same pack throughout the whole build, because the colors and the wood tones are going to match one another. So we're just going to be making a little nook or an area for the bed, and then going to be adding some decorations onto the side table. And I wanted to make sure that there was space for the Sims down here on the main level to have clothes storage. It doesn't really matter in The Sims technically, but I was trying to go for realism in this build, and so I wanted to have a dresser down here. You can get rid of that dresser and then just use the bathroom mirror, but I wanted it to use the dresser. I was trying to use every item in the tiny living pack, and I think I just didn't use 3 items from this pack. There are like 3 different layers of lights, and I just wanted to use the short layer because you guys are short wall height in this build, and then the other item was another like side table item, and I didn't want to use that because I couldn't find any spots for it. You'll see at the end of the video me trying to find that find a spot for that side table. It just didn't work out. I couldn't think of anything else to put it, so we're just going to be now working on some skill building items up here. So like I said, this is kind of like a bedroom slash hobby room slash skill building area. So we're just going to be adding an art easel, a chess table, and of course the all important computer. Your Sims can do a lot on the computer, and I know it's like you can easily do everything on the Sims phone, but I find it easier to do it on the computer. So we're just going to be adding a guitar, adding back in the chess table, and I really like this tiny little bedroom nook of the house. I had a hard time designing like the hobby area. I'm like, again, this feels too big, but I didn't want to cut down on space. So we're just going to be adding that gallery wall that I mentioned, and it's just a nice little collage of different art pieces, and just going to be mostly no, all of these are from the base game. I was gonna say most of these are from base game, but no, all of them, all of those pictures are from the base game, along with the windows and the curtains. See, this is why I needed the base game to kind of fill in where the tiny living pack couldn't. So now we're in the backyard, and we're going to be adding a swimming pool to the backyard. So this is my second video of 2026, and both of these videos have had a swimming pool in them. So if you haven't seen my futuristic penthouse, you can go watch that video after we're done over here on this video. That was a super fun video to film. Nothing I've done like that so far, and so it'd be fun to do another futuristic build like that. So we're just going to be adding some lawn chairs back here, and I feel like going into this tiny house, I was a little bit like, what do I do with all this yard space? And that's why I went for a tiny home instead of a micro home, is because I wanted to make sure that there was enough space, but like not too much space in the backyard, if you know what I mean. I wanted it to like not feel like so far away from each other. So we're just going to be moving a few things around, going to be adding some towels on the ends of the long chairs and going to be adding some pool ladders. I added another little outdoor dining space out here if your Sims don't want to use the picnic table. And we're just going to be adding some like lotion, sunscreen by the lounge chairs. I know I called them long chairs earlier, but they're lounge chairs, I think. I know, I feel like sometimes different cultures call the same item different things. So hopefully you understand what I'm saying. So we're just going to be trying to find something to put on the table, but I gave up kind of quickly and I was distracted by the empty wall of that has no windows on it. And like that wall needs some windows. And so you'll see during the screenshots that I do add windows to the space to give it some more light, but we are getting close to the screenshots of the video, so I hope you enjoyed watching. If you did, make sure to give it a like, and if you haven't yet, hit the subscribe button. I post new videos every single Tuesday, and if you have any build suggestions for me, make sure to leave it down in the comments, and I hope to see you all next Tuesday. Bye!